Now, let me talk to you about using the evoice, okay? The evoice answering machine. Now, in your members area in the back office, you can get an 800 number voice messaging system for $35 a month. You don't really need it. You can have it if you want, but you don't really need it. eVoice is fine, and that's only $4.95 a month. But here's what I want to cover with you. When you are in your first step of the campaign setup area, you're going to put in your caller ID, and you're going to put in the phone number of where the call is going to go to when somebody presses 1. Okay? So on the first number that you put in, that's your caller ID. You really want to use a caller ID phone number that is from a remote part of the country. Mine is from Wyoming. You should get one from eVoice from like Maine, Wyoming, Montana, someplace like that, North Dakota, South Dakota. And let me tell you why, okay? If you use, let's say you live in Chicago, okay? And your area code is 312, okay? With voice broadcasting, well, let me back up. There's two types of phone calls in this country. There's interstate and intrastate, okay? Interstate is state to state. Intrastate is from one location in the state to another. When Ma Bell was deregulated in the 1980s, there was a few rules and laws that were changed, and those laws are still on the books, even though they don't really apply. And specifically what I'm talking about is that intrastate phone calling is more expensive than interstate phone calling. Now nowadays it's unlimited calling, but the point is that it's still on the books. It's still part of the telecom regs or regulations, and it affects voice broadcasting. So if you're in the 312 area code, and there's probably about 6 or 8 area codes in Illinois, you can't broadcast to, if you have your phone list, you upload your phone list, if there's any phone numbers in there from Illinois, you're not going to be able to broadcast to them. iBuzz Pro will take them out. It's all automated. It's just the way it is. It's the telecom rules and regs. It has nothing to do with iBuzz Pro or anything else. It's just the way that it is. So what you want to do is you want to have a caller ID, which is your voice messaging system, be from a state where there aren't very many people, and the chances of you calling somebody in that state is almost zip. That's why you want to go for Maine, or maybe Vermont, or one of those types of places. Mine is in Wyoming, and with eVoice you can choose your state. This is really important, okay? Because I had a member who lives in a certain state, and he had his eVoice for his state, and he called a bunch of numbers, real estate agents in his state, and none of the calls went through, and he didn't understand it, so I explained it to him, and he didn't even know. Okay? So then he got his eVoice number. He got a new number from eVoice from Maine. He called all those real estate agents in his state and did fine. Okay, now here's another thing. You cannot call any numbers in Hawaii or Alaska. It's only the continental US. As of right now, you cannot call into Canada. It's only the continental US. And you cannot call into Indiana or Missouri because telemarketing laws in those two states are very strict. All the other states, it's no big deal. Okay? Now, when you go through your broadcast setup area in section 3, when you upload your list, you have the option of scrubbing that list through the Do Not Call list, the National Do Not Call list, and through the iBuzz Pro internal Do Not Call list. If you're marketing to people that are in a business, you don't have to scrub through the National Do Not Call list. And the very first time I market to a list, I don't scrub through the internal iBuzz Pro Do Not Call list. The second time I market to a given list, and you can market to a given list many times, I don't suggest that you do it more than once every 2 weeks for any given list, but you can market to it many times. I've done it. And I keep pulling money out of the list, and it's surprising. You can broadcast to the same list, and different people will answer the phone every time. It's amazing. So, anyway, so you don't have to worry about Indiana or or Missouri or even Alaska or Hawaii. You don't have to know about the area codes. It just iBuzz Pro will not allow the broadcast to go through to any area codes in those 4 states. It's as simple as that. So that's all there is to it. So that's why sometimes when you upload your list, if the list has got 500 phone numbers on it and you only end up with like 420, that's usually what it is. You may have some Canadian numbers in there. You may have some numbers in there from any of those 4 states, and that kind of stuff. So that's what that means. If you do get the 800 number voice messaging system for $35 in the iBuzz Pro back office system or in the members area, and you use that for your caller ID, you're going to find that in some cases people won't answer the phone when they see a toll-free number on the caller ID because they think it's a bill collector or telemarketing. That's why it's good to use a local phone number from a remote state. Okay? Hope that's clear. I'm trying to make it as clear as possible. Anyway, that's it.